Are you ready for Sunday school, kids?
Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you've had a great week. And today we're going to talk about the time when Jesus enters the temple. I'm going to show you a picture here of Jesus coming into the temple, and he was shocked because he thought he'd find people worshipping, and he found sheep and goats and birds being bought and sold. He found money changers, changing money so that people could buy these animals, and he was furious. And so he turned over the tables, causing a great crash here, crash there, a bleat of a sheep there, a bird song there. And he said, "You've made this temple into a flea market, and it stinks with all the smell of the animals, and it should be a house of prayer." Jesus was angry, but it was a right anger. Now, sometimes I'm sure you get angry. And what sort of things do you get angry about? I heard you get angry when mum and dad say you've got to go to bed, but you feel it's too early to go to bed. You've got things you want to do. And your brother or sister is just annoying you. He just can be so annoying. And your mum has asked to call him for supper and he doesn't come. And then someone takes your stuff and you're going to play with that stuff. And they've got it. And then you go on the internet, you want to go and play with your Switch, but, oh dear, your brother or sister's on the PlayStation and they're sucking up all the internet and you can't play the game. It's so infuriating. And you can get really angry. A bit like this video game, Angry Birds. And when we get angry, we can sometimes get physical, and we can sometimes say nasty things. For instance, this red bird, he just says little comments which just really hurt you. And they might say you're doing this drawing, and they say, is that the best you can do? And you're so enjoying that drawing, and that person has just spoiled it for you. And it could be that the yellow bird, he says a really nasty thing. He says, "You've got ugly teeth," and that's kind of really personal. And you think, and you're really hurt by that because, that doesn't go away. And this blackbird, he says things which spoil a whole group. You're with a group of boys and girls, and one of the boys says that all girls are stupid. And the bunch of the girls say, boys are smelly. And so those groups are just let down, and the whole atmosphere is spoiled, and they get angry. Now, I'm going to ask Noah to share a little bit what makes him angry and how he deals with it.
Yeah.
So, Noah, could you tell me what makes you angry?
When, dogs bark and, they bark at other dogs outside when it's, late and you have to go outside. That makes you angry sometimes.
Okay. And anything else? If are you talking about the internet?
What?
You talked about the internet. What was the problem once?
Someone's making fun of you on the internet, or
It could be, yes.
or someone's
You said your brother
liking?
takes up behind the internet sometimes.
Well, yeah. Well, that kind of makes people angry.
Yes.
And picking on someone kind of makes people angry.
Yes.
And
That's good. And how do you control your anger and calm down?
pet a dog.
Yes.
You squeeze a stress ball.
Right.
Take a shower.
Okay.
Go outside.
Yeah. Those are great ideas now. They really are. Well, thank you so much for helping me with this.
No problem.
Okay. So I just want to conclude with a few thoughts. Noah's given us some really helpful hints. One thing is, don't let the sun go down on your anger. That means try and resolve conflicts and hurts before you go to bed at night. Use good words. These angry birds used angry words. And sometimes we can make it better by using good words when angry words are used. Try and say what is nice about the person, or what is good about the day, or whatever, to make it better. And there is also time for a right anger. And as Noah said, sometimes there's a situation we get angry because someone is being bullied or being put down at school or in a group of friends. And we need to stand up for them, be firm, but to stand up for them. And that's really important. That's a right anger. And sometimes when people get blamed for something they did not do, we need to say, he or she didn't do that. You know, we need to not blame that person. Someone else did it. So I just want to conclude now with a short prayer. And when you get angry, just take a little bit of time out and think about what we've learned today. God, help us to remember that we are your temple and that your Spirit lives in us. When we are angry, help us to use good words. Help us to stand up for what is right. Amen.
Well, welcome, boys and girls, to God's Garden. So good to see you today, and so glad you could join us. Before we start on our crafts, I've just got two announcements. This is the first one, and it's about the Lent picture gallery, okay, which is online. Marilee has given you details online all about it. The deadline is March the 21st, and we still need 4 more artists. So if you look on the children's activity pages, you will see more information. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is this. It's from the PWRDF in our diocese, the Primates World Relief and Development Fund, and it's calling again for more artwork, original artwork from people, from children. And the deadline for this is May the 1st, so we have a little more time for this. And that again is on the activity pages, the information. Okay? All right, so today we just heard all about Jesus cleansing the temple from William upstairs. And so now we're downstairs, we're actually going to make a temple. That's our first craft. So it will, when it's finished, look like this. Okay? So we need to find some time to go and collect all the things you need. So the first thing would be a cardboard lid or a box with a small edge. Or you could use a tray or a cookie sheet, something that has a little bit of an edge around it. That's the first thing. Then you need some glue, scissors, of course, Play-Doh, if you're going to make your maze, we're going to make a maze. Or if you don't want to do the Play-Doh maze, this is made out of Play-Doh, you can use plasticine, pipe cleaners, that's another idea, and stick them on. Okay, to make a maze. And this page has some other ideas. You could make a maze out of Lego, okay, or straws, or popsicle sticks. Okay, and that page is on the website. All right, so this box that I have here has got some, you can see it's got some marks on the bottom. So I'm going to take a piece of cardboard like this, which I've cut out, and I'm going to glue it on there so as to make it flat. So that's the first thing we do. So you go and get your glue. Oops, can't put it on paper. And you're going to put some glue on the back of this. Yes. Okay, we don't need a lot, just enough so it'll stick down, right? I'm just going to put a little bit on each corner and maybe on the edge there, like that. We'll put that down and press it down into your box. So this is only if you have bumps in your box. If you use a tray or a cookie sheet, you probably won't need to do this part. Okay? Now you'll see that I've made some lines on here. So I took my pencil, okay, and I'm going to create a pattern. So you're going to make like a maze. Okay, so you're going to make your maze, make your different shapes, because the idea is in the end, when you're finished, you're going to get your marble, which is another thing that you might need to find. And you're going to pretend, you're going to go into the gate here and you're going to cleanse the temple and get your marble into all the four corners of the temple. Okay. Alright, so I've created what I think is kind of a nice pattern. Then I'm going to get my Play-Doh out. So I'll put this here. Get some Play-Doh. You can use any kind of Play-Doh you happen to have in your house. I have some purple here. And some green. Okay, and then I'm going to roll it and make it look like a sausage. You're all expert Play-Doh makers. You all know how to do Play-Doh. Right? It's nice and soft. Play-Doh works best. Okay, and then when you've made your edges like that, I'm going to pinch it a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to put it on my lines here like this. Okay, then I'm going to take a little bit more. And this could take you a long time. It's a really fun activity to do, actually. You can make it as fancy as you like. A very complicated temple arrangement. Okay, I'm going to go around like that. Okay, and pinch it a little bit so that it stays, right? You don't have to glue it down. It'll stay by itself, see? Okay, and when you've done all that, I'll do one more. Okay, let's do one more. Make it like this. And then pinch it a little bit. I'm going to have to stand up to see how to do this one. There. Okay, all right. And keep going until you've made your beautiful maze, all right? And then it will look like something like that. Okay? However you want your maze to look is just fine. Okay, so that's the Play-Doh part. Now the next job is to find your sheet of the figures, the people. That's on Mary's on the website. Okay, and you're going to cut them out. So, first thing to cut out is the shape of the temple. Okay, this is the gate of the temple. Okay, so you need your gate because this is where people come in and out. And remember what they were doing? They were selling sheep and cows and doves, but they were selling them kind of dishonestly. They were charging people far too much, far too much, and then taking the profits for themselves. And Jesus didn't like that. So you've cut out your temple, and you're going to glue your temple onto the this edge, onto the edge. Okay, you're going to put some glue on the other side of it like this. And you're going to glue it on like that. Okay, so that's the temple. That shows you this is the forecourt, this is the temple. Then you need your people that were doing things dishonestly, that means not rightly, and they were doing them in the wrong place. Jesus didn't want them doing all that inside the temple area. He said that's wrong. So that's what we're doing. So here's one little fellow. He is the seller of doves. So you see there's a little line there. You can fold it on the line. You put a little bit of glue on the bottom part. You might need a grown-up to help you with this part if you're little. Okay, and then you can put these wherever you want in your temple. Okay, I'm going to put him there. These are the money changers. These two sitting together, I'm going to make my money changers. I think you can make them whoever you want them to be. It doesn't say here which one is which, okay? So these are my money changers. There's the line, so I'm going to fold it on the line. Put some glue on this part. And they're sitting at the table waiting to change people, give people change for their money. But they weren't doing it honestly. They were doing it in a wrong kind of a way. Oh, they should be a little bit higher. There, can you see them? So they're sitting there. Then we've got two more characters. We've got the seller of cows. Oops. I'm cutting them out very quickly because, you know, you can take longer and do it much more carefully than I am. Put a little bit of glue there. He's the seller of the cows. I'm going to put it over there. And this is the sheep seller. And this person is going to go and fold it on the little dotted line and put a little bit of glue there. And she's going to go there. All right. Okay, so there you have your people, you have your temple, you have your maze. All right. And then you need to find your marble. Right? Next thing to do is to find your marble. When you've got your marble, okay, you've got your nice maze created. Can you see? So I'm going to try and we're going to put your maze in. This is the gate. We're going to start here. We're going to see if we can roll the marble into all the corners. Oh, there we are. He's cleaned out the sheep cellar. See, you could put a little circle where you've got your corners there, right? So you know when you've made it. Now we're going to try and clean out the cellar of the cows. Oh, I did it. Okay, and you can have so much fun with this, right? And make it as difficult or as easy as you like. Okay, so that's our temple maze. Right, put this away. Have fun with that craft, boys and girls. Now our second craft, which we're going to do today, is handprints. Okay, I'll show you. It's going to look like this when we're finished. Okay, here we go. We have, this is Aubrey's. We have Aubrey's handprints, we have a heart, and we have her footprints. Okay, so you can be as messy as you like. Just make sure you have plenty of water around to wash your hands in afterwards, okay? And then on the website you'll find the song that we're going to sing, which we're going to do in a minute, all right? So I'll show you. Okay, and we're going to do this because we want to remember that God can use our hands and our feet, okay, to help other people in loving and in caring ways, not in bad ways, okay? So, you can either paint your hands and your feet, or you can trace them, okay? So I'm going to do one painted hand to show you. You can do, I think Marilee's given me some paint in here. Oh, I've got some lovely white paint. Okay, I'm going to do some white. I'm going to paint my hand, okay, like this. I'll show you. Make it nice and messy. Lots of paint on your hand. Or you can go like that and put it in if you have a lot of paint. Okay, I'm just going to go like this. And your hands will be a little smaller than mine, so you could maybe do 2 or 3. Okay, so make sure you have a nice lot of paint on your hand, and then you're going to push it down. Make it nice and hold it there just for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And lift it up. Woo, it's a bit faint because I didn't put very much paint, but you'll see. Okay, you can put a nice lot more paint on and make a really nice, beautiful handprint just like that one. You could do 2. Do it twice. Okay, or if you don't want to get all messy on paint on your hand, you can trace around your hand. Put your hand there on a piece of, you could actually, the best thing, take a piece of construction paper, fold it in half. When you folded it nice and in half, you can put your hand on the paper and you can draw around your hand, okay? Trace around your fingers, okay? Like that. Make sure your thumb is almost to the end. Then, and I'm really messy, that's all right. Then, take your scissors and you're going to cut around your hand. This is an alternative way of doing it if you don't want to get messy with paint, which some children like to and some don't. Remember, we want God to use our hands and our feet so we can help other people and be kind and look after them. make sure that if we are angry, that it's the right kind of anger. And ask Jesus to help us with it. Okay, so when you get to the finger and the thumb, don't cut that part. Okay, I'll show you. Let's see if I can do it right. Because I did this once and I made a mistake. So let's see. And it's quite okay to make mistakes, by the way. Go around here. Let's see if I've got it right. Yeah, I got it right. There we are. You can do it that way. You see, what's that shape in the middle? That's a heart in the middle, isn't it? Isn't that clever? That's a pretty cool craft, I think. Okay, so that could be glued on your paper too. Okay, you've got your hands. You've got two ways of doing your hands. Clean off all my mess. And then, the last thing to do is, when you've got a nice big sheet of paper and you've made all your hands, painted your feet if you want to, drawn around your hands, and you could put your hands that you've drawn around on here as well. Then, if you look on Mary's site, you'll see the words of the song we're going to sing. So I'm going to just cut this out. I can remember where I put my scissors. Yes, I did. Okay, I cut this out. Cut the song out so we remember the song. Okay, and then in a minute or two we're going to sing. Okay. So I'll cut this round like this. There we go, and we're going to glue that there. We're going to put a little bit of glue on just on the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners to my sheep. We'll put that on there. Oh, oops, press it too hard. Gently there. There's that. Okay, and if you want, you can put more prints here. Okay, and this is to remind us, so we can use our hands and our feet. God wants us to use them for Him, to help others, and to be kind and loving. Okay? All right, so the two crafts, the temple craft and the hand, feet prints. Okay? Thank you. Okay, boys and girls, so now we're going to sing. Okay, and this is the song that we just pasted on our sheet and on our picture, and it's about being careful what we do with our hands and our feet and our hearts. And you can add eyes, ears, whatever part of your body you want, okay? All right, so let's start. We'll sing it through first. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. For the Father up above is looking down with love. So be careful, little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little feet, where you go. Oh, be careful, little feet, where you go. For the Father up above is looking down with love. So be careful, little feet, where you go. Oh, be careful, little heart, what you feel. Oh, be careful, little heart, what you feel. For the Father up above is looking down with love. So be careful, little heart, what you feel. And we'll do the first verse one more time, and we'll sing it all together. Ready? Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. For the Father up above is looking down with love. So be careful, little hands, what you do. Okay, and have fun, boys and girls, and God bless.